I'm rolling, brah.
Fratelloni's Ace Hardware and Garden Stores brings you from the State Fair, Garage Logic Podcast number 687.
Hey.
September 3rd, 2021. 97 degrees was the high on this day in 1925, and it was 32 degrees in 1974, which I remember as a very, very cool summer.
And special thanks to Running Aces Casino, Hotel, and Racetrack for sponsoring GL at the State Fair. Running Ace is a Las Vegas-style card room with family-friendly horse racing, trout fishing, the best bacon cheeseburgers in the state, and a brand-new hotel featuring state-of-the-art amenities, a pool, hot tub, and more, in the most comfy beds in the history of sleep. Running Aces Casino, Hotel, and Racetrack.
John and Dylan Height, Joe on bass. All day long we have this. John's making that guitar face that he's famous for. Kurt, not Joe's, Kurt. For $1 million. Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys. Never rains on GL at the State Fair. Never rains on GL. John McPhillips, could you come up here shortly, please, or briefly? And I want to explain who John is. He's out here doing the Lord's work.
Right here, Johnny.
And going to tell us about that Fraser Center that I had a great deal of sport with. I didn't really quite understand what its function was. You are John McPhillips, St. Paul kid.
Absolutely.
And tell us, John, what is that Fraser Center?
Fraser here at the fair is, and I'm with Central Roofing, we sponsor them here at the fair. Fraser is for autism services.
Okay.
And not just for children.
Right.
Some of the people that live in Fraser are as old in their 80s.
All right, right.
We also serve veterans. I myself am a 100% service-connected disabled veteran from Vietnam.
Right.
They do a wonderful work, and on behalf of them, I'm just here to call you out.
Yeah. Well, John, I just imagine a bunch of prematurely gray-haired 42-year-old women going in there because the fair was too much for them, and I was merely suggesting, why in the hell would you come to the fair if you need a timeout? I completely misunderstood the purpose of that, and I congratulate for sponsoring it.
Well, thank you, and please come by sometime. And
Where is it on the fairgrounds?
If you know where the old Fireside corner was, right across from Creative.
Yes.
Across from the giant slide?
Right.
Yes.
Right. We
Yes.
were actually given only a few days' notice to be able to remodel it as best we could and bring it in. Front part is education. The back part is a sensory room.
Has it been successful?
Wildly.
Really
good.
Wildly. Good. Way beyond whatever we'd expected at all.
Is that from Joe ripping it and calling attention to it?
No. In truth, full disclosure, we did correct that the next day.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
We did verbally correct that.
I certainly acknowledge that.
No, but I wanted to meet you, John, and I apologize for my misunderstanding. It was not good on my part. But I couldn't pass up a chance to rip 42-year-old prematurely gray female euphorians who were too shaken up by the fair that they had to seek refuge someplace. I completely misunderstood.
Got a bit of tunnel vision going, John.
Yeah, completely misunderstood.
You know, you're welcome up here anytime, and
Sure.
I think the 42-year-olds at our age are that's low-hanging fruit, isn't it?
Careful now. Careful.
John. There we go.
John, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
An honor.
Yep,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and congratulations for your good work. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
May I ask a question?
His
Joe?
heart stopped 4 times, right, John?
4 times.
But he's never seen the white light.
Never saw the white light.
Right. Be careful. Thank you very much.
Is that good or bad?
Well, he's here, isn't he? Yes, somebody was talking to me?
I was just going to ask, because we've had a couple of musical guests these last couple of days, and I had a question for Johnny.
Yeah.
How inadequate as a player have you felt the last 2 days now playing with your son? And
We've had some pretty good guitar players on stage today. I agree. All week, actually. So
Yeah.
But I feel fine.
Okay, good.
We learned
I
that,
feel adequate.
we learned that Jeff Dayton, who served 15 years as Glenn Campbell's band leader,
Yeah.
and a marvelous guitar player in his
Yeah.
own right,
Yep.
was here yesterday. He was fantastic. And Doris is here already. All right. And the mystery continues. Rook, I talked to my sister last night, whose husband graduated from Matamidi in 1971. Rook.
Yep, I'm
Never
sorry.
heard of the guy.
Well, he told me Matamidai, 1971.
Manny must have kept a low profile.
I did go to his website yesterday. Let me dig that up while you talk about other things. And
Well, it's
see what it says.
Here's today's State Fair animal.
Oh, is that when I play the sounder?
Wait, shouldn't I be doing an ad? when
Yeah,
you
you
say
should.
that?
Here comes Doris with a.
Oh, here we go. What is it, Joe?
Boy, that's an
She's
old
got a couple of them.
Texas Longhorn, right? Come on up, Doris.
Come on, Tom, go to work. Help him out here. Make some room.
Watch it trample that
It's the only
EcoFun
time
bike.
I get to order Tom around.
Doris is going to make her way up here. Her last appearance at the fair. She's helped us for years and years and years. She's a charter inductee into the Garage Logic Hall of Fame, and as is her norm, she's wearing her medallion.
Do you think she came over this early just to be finally done with us for another
I think
year?
so. Let's
I
get
think
it
so.
over with.
Let's get it over with.
Yep.
We have Doris has that is a
What a fine-looking
moly.
beast.
wow, what an animal. That is a big cow, isn't it? Is that a cow, Doris?
We don't have a cow.
Rosie?
Yep,
Rosie.
So I was right, it's a cow.
you're right.
What kind? Scottish Highlander?
Hey, have you done this before, Joe?
No.
Is that really a Scottish
Did he
Highlander?
get it right?
Doris, are you proud of me, Doris?
All right.
Doris,
Joe.
Doris
Wow.
has taught me well over the years.
Wow.
Yeah!
I almost collapsed from disbelief there.
Joe,
Wow.
Joe, describe what the gentleman is doing with the green stick.
I have no idea.
Well, describe it for the listeners.
Well, he's brushing the coat of Daisy.
I think he's tickling the belly.
Well, are you, sir? What is your name?
Mark Schultz.
Mark, where does this animal live?
So she's from southern Minnesota, Elkton, Minnesota.
Okay.
On our farm, Flatland Farm.
Yep.
And we've got, you can't see him, he's hiding over there, but right on the other side of her, we've got Kai, right over here.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh.
why don't we pull Rosie up a little bit, and if we can, so Kai can be
What,
revealed.
what are you doing, stroking the fur there?
We're just keeping her calm.
Oh, okay.
She got on the truck about 2:30 this morning and got off the truck up here, and we gave her a spa treatment
Yep.
and a little rest and getting ready for the show here.
How old is she?
She's a 6-year-old cow.
And what's her future?
She hopefully will have many more nice calves like Kai here.
All right, now I'm seeing Kai right behind her.
And you stroke her belly to keep her calm.
Calm. She likes
Could
it.
you do that?
Who does it?
To me?
Kenny, get down there. Let's try that out. Let's see what happens.
Go
Okay.
lay on the grass.
I could use some of that.
Maybe a calming effect.
That is a lovely, handsome animal. Man,
Well-
Thank you.
alive. Wow.
And Joe, Kai's had a little adjustment to his swimsuit area.
What's that mean?
Well, what
does
do you
that
think?
mean?
Well, I mean, he's been
He's out of service.
he's been de-escalated.
He has. He has.
We
Early
don't-
on.
He's no longer a danger to the female world of the Scottish breed.
This is true.
Okay, why would that be done? I have no idea.
Well, so normally that would be done, then he would be a beef producer for us.
Okay.
In his case, I'm not sure where he's going to, what his longevity will be, because he's going to go as a companion with a bull that
is he
we
having a
sold
little
out east.
gender identity problem, or
No,
No.
What's his
No.
pronoun?
the
we call that they.
They.
Got it.
Hey.
Got
No, he doesn't have a problem with his gender identity, but he's going to go out and be a buddy to another animal that is going to a show farm.
Oh.
And so he's maybe going to be used as eye candy rather than as
yeah.
a bull to serve as
I
cows.
gotcha.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Teammates.
Now, is Daisy being shown
It's
here
Rosie.
at the fair?
It's Rosie.
I'm sorry, Rosie.
Yes.
Is
No,
Rosie?
we're just on display in the boo booth area,
All right.
and so we can educate people about some unique animals and then beef in general, beef animals.
Right.
And we get a lot of good questions from fairgoers.
Good.
And so we're out here we've been here all 12 days, although we switch cattle out every 4 days, so
Okay.
they don't have to be here so long.
So you went home and got Rosie.
We did last night. We
Okay.
took a different pair home, and we got back on the road this morning.
Is that instrument you're using to calm her, is that specifically intended for that purpose?
It is, and you'll also notice that it kind of has a shape at the top.
Like a fish hook.
It's also used in the show ring to set her feet up,
I see. All right.
to get her placed right.
All right.
But
Well, so
today we don't need to do
Right.
that.
I'm going to bring one of those home for the roommate.
Yeah.
She has really long fur. Or
The
hair.
roommate or
Yeah,
this guy?
so
Ba-dum-dum-dum.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
so she's the breed originated in the Highlands of Scotland.
Yes.
Scottish Highlands.
Yep.
So windy, cold. They have a double coat that keeps the water off so they don't get chilled. You'll also notice she has very long eyelashes,
Yes.
which most people would be jealous of.
Oh, that's just nifty.
And that's also to keep the weather out of her
Okay.
eyes.
Does she shed at all? Do they?
Yep, in the spring, we'll comb out the undercoat,
Sure.
that double coat.
Who's working on Kai?
That's my wife, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. Hi, how are you?
Mark, you've been on the show before.
I have.
Yeah, I recognize
I
you.
have.
With a Scottish Highland?
Yep, you
Now,
bet.
see, that must be my memory, Doris. I'm so pleased with myself I can't see straight.
There you go.
Because I've disappointed you for years and years and years, and today I came through for you.
Yes, and so I'll hold that close in memory until next year, Joe. And, when I listen to your podcast and there's some interesting commentary, it's sometimes I wish that I could just call up and say, no, it's wrong. But, at
well,
5,
join the club, Doris.
Yeah, so-
Doris, on days I don't work, I wish I could call it and correct it.
I hear you.
We're
I hear
not
you.
that inaccurate.
Well, just do like everybody else. Send us an email telling us what idiots we are.
Well,
You're doing it all wrong.
actually, I do send emails on occasion.
You
so
do?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Let me see if we have a correction segment today.
correction
Well,
segment
let's
there.
say good.
We
that,
do not. We
That
do
could
not.
get long. Oh,
We
okay,
do not.
Good.
Some things about. I think Mark can tell you a little bit too about the Highland beef. Is you're always interested in the meat aspect. I know,
I am.
And what might end up at Grundhofer's.
Right.
Scottish Highlands are a little bit different than regular beef cattle.
Okay.
So with that double coat I was talking
Right.
about, they don't develop the back fat that a commercial breed does, so
Okay.
they're a lot leaner beef.
Oh, boy.
So if you have some health issues but still like your beef, and you like a little leaner beef, this would be the one
Well,
for
can
you.
you get that at the store? I mean,
Typically not. They're usually it's direct from the farmer because these guys don't fit the mold of normal production
Right.
beef. So farmers markets and direct from the farmer is where you might find Highland
Okay.
beef.
I have a question about beef. Which tastes better, corn-fed beef or grass-fed?
Oh, you're going to start a war.
That's a loaded question there. So
yeah.
it's really personal preference.
Okay.
I grew up eating corn-fed Holstein steers.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it. I do prefer grass-fed Highlands now.
I don't
Because
blame
of
you.
less fat.
Less fat, but actually a little more robust flavor is what I would say.
All right. Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, Mark and Doris.
bet.
You're
and
welcome.
thank you again, Doris, for another great year
Yes.
bringing us today's State Fair animals.
Today's State Fair animal.
Let's hear it for
be
Hall
the-
of Famer Doris Smold.
Wouldn't be
from
the fair
movie.
without Doris. And thank you to that beautiful. Look at the face on that calf. Looks like a catcher's mitt.
Oh, Joe. He's coming up to
Oh.
visit you, Joe.
That is beautiful. Well,
You know, you have made a lot of progress in today's State for Animals
Oh,
segment.
wait a minute, Jamie. How old is the calf? 6 months.
months.
Okay. All right.
Joe, you have made a lot of progress from the time when you asked, do they make female ones of these?
Right.
Yeah, thanks.
You've come a long way.
I think I can straighten out your Jeff Dayton questions, Joe.
Here we go. Jeff Dayton was with us yesterday. Marvelous entertainer.
I have more,
And
about his background that you'll.
I'm so angry that I didn't make it up to the Liney Lodge to watch him yesterday.
He went to
What were you doing instead?
he went to Matamidi Senior High School, the Blake School, and Orono High School.
Okay.
Graduating in 1971. So it sounds like he graduated from Orono.
There you go. There you go.
Listen to this though. He then went to Southwest Minnesota State.
Yep.
With an introduction to both jazz and classical performing. Studied cello. Joined the school's jazz ensemble. Later played guitar with the University of Minnesota Twin Cities Jazz Ensemble. Studied jazz arrangement under Lance Strickland. Worked with Dizzy Gillespie, Thad Jones,
Shut up.
and Phil Woods, three
Really?
legends.
We need
of
to
the
have him
jazz
back.
world.
I told you yesterday he was very self-effacing. I said, you're a much bigger deal than you're letting on.
Where
Much
is
bigger.
Southwest? Where is that?
Marshall.
Marshall.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Rook,
Yeah.
self-effacing. What do you say to that?
That's another screw that word. Screw that. I'm compiling a list with just normal.
He
Talk
was
normal.
Okay, he was modest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you say? Self-effacing?
Yeah.
And he walked up in a baseball
Cameras
cap
here.
Yeah.
with Fender on it and just a work shirt.
And he's a big deal in the
Yeah.
music world.
Yeah, huge.
And he had a cool hat.
Huge.
He did have his hat was
Yep.
cool.
Unfortunately, I bet they're not here today. Otherwise, I'd send you on a mission to go bring them back.
Correct. I believe they are. I believe they're all done, and he did make good on his promise to deliver some T-shirts in the
Okay.
back to us.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a kind gesture.
All right. Say, Red Savoy Pizza.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
They got a new September carry-out special. If you've been going to restaurants lately, it's pretty clear there's a hell of a labor shortage.
Yes.
That's true with half small businesses in this country are short of staff. Because we got to get a president who quits paying people not to work.
Right.
So, well, the shortage is real, and when the whole world is short-staffed, it's important to be kind to those who show up in that spirit. Red Savoy is encouraging people to stop into one of their restaurants and pick up their pizza, like the good old days.
Good stuff.
Picking up your pizza will help Red Savoy navigate this labor shortage, and they're going to make it worthwhile for you, too. Not only do you get the pull tab tucked into the box.
What else do you get?
But right now you can get a large one-topping pizza with cheese bread for $22.99 when you pick up your pizza at any of the Red Savoy's locations. So GLers, let's pitch in and help Red Savoy like we are helping other small businesses with that carry-out special this month. Download the Red Savoy app or visit savoypizza.com.
Hey GLers, it's Reavers here with a couple of questions for you. Are you noticing a decrease in the following? Maybe strength, endurance, enjoyment of life, libido, or maybe it's just a lack of energy. Are you tired of feeling exhausted even after you eat dinner? I've got an answer for you. You need to call my friends at Everest Men's Health. From signs of low testosterone to other deficiencies, they examine every single area important to a man's overall health. And that allows them to develop an easy-to-follow plan that will ensure your success. It does not matter where you fall on the spectrum of men's health. The time is right now to come into Everest Men's Health and take the first steps toward realizing your best health possible. The great thing about Everest is their medical specialists look at the entire picture and they figure out what is causing these changes to you. They start with a full medical evaluation to check testosterone levels, important vitamin levels, blood levels, and overall body composition. And once they identify the deficiencies, such as low T or vitamin deficiencies, they create a personalized lifestyle program that can include testosterone replacement, medication management, vitamin and natural supplementation, and exercise prescription and nutritional guidance. Trust me, Everest is fantastic and they provide a comfortable environment that is not intimidating like other medical clinics. They specialize in men's health and they can be your doctor for all your health needs and they will refer you to a specialist if needed. It's a wonderful environment and fantastic people. Go online right now to everestmenshealth.com and you can call today to schedule your $50 testosterone test at any one of their 3 locations in Woodbury, Plymouth, and now in Egan. And please let them know that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
Wow.
Oh, man, it has to be fun in the John Haidt music room at home, huh?
It can be, yes.
Wow.
GLers, you're looking at the future of music at the end of that stage there. Dylan Haidt.
Yep.
Round of applause for Dylan.
Dylan, do we get to be roadies when you're famous one day?
I'm not carrying your gear ever, Dylan, ever. Ladies and gentlemen, here it comes. Heydays, the biggest celebration of snowmobiles in the country, coming back for the 54th time. Joe, it's next weekend,
I
the 11th
that.
and
Yeah.
12th.
Yep.
It's at the Big Snow Baron site off of 95, 7 miles east of North Branch. The one weekend of the year where all of us sled heads get together and party at this 140-acre site. They have something for everyone. Ditch Pickles, Polaris, Skidoo, Yamaha. The factory trailers are all going to be on hand. There are a lot of dealers there selling stuff, getting rid of last year's stuff, giving you special Heydays dealer specials. It's a lot of fun. And my favorite event of the weekend is always the grass drags. We're talking 800 horsepower snowmobiles running over 150 miles per hour on the grass. Plus the biggest swap area you'll ever see, no matter what you're looking for. From a hot tub to a snowmobile to your third wife, you'll find it on the swap field. Heydays, it's next weekend. For more information, heydays.com. Or maybe your next husband. I don't know.
GLers, say hello to a great GL teacher, a science teacher up at Annandale, writes us frequently, Cal Fraley. Give us a wave, Cal. He's right over here. hell of a GL thinker and a great addition to common sense in the teaching profession. Is our friend Sean Emery here?
He is indeed, Joe. He's waiting in the green room here. And
bring him out.
The one and only Sean Emery, ladies and gentlemen.
Sean. Come on, you can do better. This is the Wacky Wheeler.
No,
that's not the
Wacky Wheeler.
I am not the Wacky Wheeler.
No, usually you swallow flames and fall down on stage and juggle.
What'd you do with the
Not
Wacky
anymore, Joe.
What'd you do with the Wheeler guy?
I retired. Everybody thinks I'm the Wacky Wheeler, and by proxy, maybe I am.
Even Kenny thinks.
But you're retired now.
I retired, yeah. You know, when the fair got canceled last year,
right?
After doing 29 years on that stage, and, kind of sitting around waiting to see if all my work went away, which it did.
Yep.
And I'm basically a lazy person.
Right.
And you choose an art like juggling, which, as you get older, realizes it never ends. You have to train.
Right. You have to practice.
All the time.
Yeah.
And nobody cares. Can anybody out here name a famous juggler? We're...
Sean Emery.
Sean Emery.
Mighty nice of you. And we go to these festivals with all these variety artists.
Right.
And, people get about 37 and they get bitter.
Yeah.
And generally they do. But jugglers get really bitter going, I thought I'd be a star. And I would always be the one to go, you're a juggler, man.
Yeah.
You have more chance for fame as a magician or a ventriloquist.
Right.
And you see that nod of approval right there.
Strangely enough, Kenny's been bitter since he's been about 17, so
Right.
he
That
was early.
It doesn't pay very well either.
No, but that's always been you. At least you are you.
Can you be lured out of retirement?
I don't know. I was listening to your podcast from yesterday. The Surly guys, or whoever it was interviewing you. Mm-hmm. And you were saying you don't think you would ever officially retire.
Right.
And then you kind of went back and talked about your halcyon days with the Olympics, with the Miracle on Ice,
Right.
and, being a newspaper reporter, and then that kind of shifting in the radio
Right.
and now into a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, my journey has been kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, besides being lazy,
Right.
I wanted to leave some work for the young kids that maybe need the work more than me. I mean, look at this crowd, people watching a podcast.
Yeah.
There's people on stage up there right now that have less of an audience, and they're out there going, love me! And you guys just come out, and and Joe, I got to tell you, and I don't know if you folks know it, but over the years I've come down to the show from when it was
Every time.
Garage Logic.
Yep.
And the first time I got asked down, I got to be honest, I didn't really know what that was all about.
Right.
So I went home and listened.
Right.
And came down, and I got one of these out of you. And people went, you did great. You got Joe to laugh. But the best thing was, of all the places I've done promo at this fair, Joe would always come back, shake my hand. The rookie, like you said, never has a bad day.
Right.
It's every day is the 4th of July.
Right.
Sometimes
that can be unfortunate.
Yeah. I'd have these private moments with
when you're doing a kidnapping story or something like that, and I try to find these silver linings.
Right.
The best part was sitting back there for 20 minutes with Patrick Royce on his computer.
Yeah.
And I learned not to say anything, and he'd turn around and go, you look like a sideshow. And I go, I got him. You just have to sit quietly. I'm trying to write.
What's that? How does that juggle thing work? What are you throwing stuff up in the air and catching it?
God,
throwing and
I
catching
thought that was him.
Yes, sir.
And you guys all, and this is the only spot I ever got any swag.
Right.
I get the rookie rag. You gave me that. I got a couple of the gold medals.
I would hope so. Are you in the Hall of Fame? I think you are.
Yes, sir.
Garage Logic
What a
Hall of
question to
Fame.
ask. Of course
Well,
he
the
is.
State Fair.
I didn't keep the
No,
roster.
the Garage Logic
Logic Hall of
Medal
I
of
am.
Freedom.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah.
Well, it's you should have worn your medal. That's the least you could have done.
Well, there was a trivia question in the State Fair paper. I am the longest running consecutive performer, or I should say I was. I'm just a quitter now.
All right.
At the State Fair. And now I just come in and I announce the 2 o'clock parade
Oh, you
up in
do.
the Baldwin Park area. So I still feel like I have a little part. And I've often told people, I said, people think that's easy. No one knew I did it. You got to read the script. You got to give it a little color.
Absolutely.
Like the haunted house comes by and I go, the haunted house, Minnesota State Scare. And then the next float might be, oh, hey, everybody, it's the Minnesota Ovarian Cancer Alliance.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to give everything a tone.
Audio corner.
It can't be too happy and it can't be too sad. It's got to be kind of,
Is there a parade today?
Oh, well, I believe there will be. This isn't enough rain.
No, that's not raining. It doesn't rain in GL.
The whole thing is seeing what marching bands will march in full regalia.
Right.
You know.
Right. And they would like this because this is a nice, cool day.
Yeah. So I wanted to thank you guys for always making it comfortable
Thank
down
you.
here.
You're not done
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming down to the year after year after year. You bring a suitcase.
You need to get a swivel seat.
No, you're okay. You don't have to turn. You're going to turn your back on me. These guys have for many years.
Swag.
We can't let this guy leave the stage. He has to go out and he has to at least do one thing. Can you juggle
5
rain pouches?
Rain pouches.
Come
on.
All right.
No, don't give me that high road.
This is like asking you guys to do your show with a megaphone.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How about if I take this chair out there and balance it on my chin?
No.
All right.
No, I don't want you to do
he
that.
can do that. He can do that. Watch him. He does it.
I mean,
mere
they
child's
suck.
play.
They're
See,
plastic.
he hasn't practiced.
Okay,
that's enough.
Use Joe's cell phone.
No, you're not going to use my phone. No.
Take it.
Don't do anything where you're going to hurt yourself.
He's not going to hurt himself. He's a professional.
May be nervous every year.
What fun is it if he doesn't hurt himself? Right there.
Wow.
Right there.
He's balancing a heavy chair on his chin, ladies and gentlemen.
Ow. Is he bleeding?
No.
Right there. He's hanging.
He what?
Let's do that again, but give me those rain pouches.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
No.
There are limits. There are some limits. That is not a light chair. That's a solid wood chair.
That's a heavy chair.
The thing is, I still got the skills. I juggle once a week.
Yeah.
And just
You mean
to see
at home, just for your amusement?
Because I had to juggle every day.
Right.
Juggling is it's an athletic sport. And again, no one cares. But you have to go on stage and juggle well. But if you juggle too well, people go, well, he's probably born doing that. That just looks too easy. So I'll throw a drop in.
Right.
To create that moment of tension.
Right.
And then the crowd goes, ugh. And I'd always go, let's think about all the ones I caught. Yeah. Let's not focus on the one.
Right. Now, I will say this.
But it's a drop of your doing. You set it up that way.
If my show has been good to that point.
Right.
Because as a juggler, you go in, like if I've already had a couple of bobbles going, okay, you have to step aside. And, I could talk about that. If people see jugglers juggle and we have a big drop and we have to look at the crowd and go, it's okay. But inside your psyche is torn apart.
Yeah,
There's a dialogue going on. Go, what a loser. Yeah. You should quit. Yeah. Just walk away.
Kind of like when I introduced you as the Wacky Wheeler. Kind of like the same thing.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. You can live with that for the rest
People
of your
are more
life.
excited to see the Wacky Wheeler.
Yeah.
After the show, Kenny will be back there very depressed that he thought you were the Wacky Wheeler and be complaining to us. Won't you? Admit it.
Why didn't you give me crib notes?
He'll be back there going, God,
Wacky,
I'm so stupid.
Wacky hurt his back after all those years.
Did he?
But, it's like listening to you talking on that podcast. And now that I'm retired, I don't really know what's ahead of me. I've been, I'm a former clown with Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus. I was 1979 Clown College.
Yep.
Was on that show, the Red Unit, from 1980 to 82. And once Ringling closed its doors, people got a lot more interested in it. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to write.
Okay.
But I'm a lazy writer.
Right.
But I do realize you got to sit down and just start writing.
Right.
You just got to start
Can't
typing.
really avoid it if you want to write.
No, you can't sit there and think too much. So I'm
Right.
just taking moments of my experience in the show. And most of them aren't out there performing.
Mm-hmm.
The best moments were the backstage moments.
Yep.
Just moments amongst clown. Why would a clown be a clown? Well, we all live with a sense of self-loathing.
Right.
We hate ourselves.
Oh, boy.
You must be Catholic.
I am
understand that.
Catholic.
Yeah, well, there you are. I called that one right off the bat.
Exactly. A bad Catholic, but living on guilt, and a clown in the circus. You clown your best days when you kind of you're hungover, you're in a rage.
Yeah.
And
Nothing like a raging clown.
No, because what you can do is the minute you step out in the arena, you go into your thing, and you can take all that energy and all those feelings and sort of transpose that into something happy for the crowd. And us getting a laugh like someone going, or even the guy with the head nod. Yeah, pretty good.
What else can you do?
I came down here for dialogue.
Sean, I had in the early days of the fair, I had a guy over here who was the owner of, at the time, it was the world's largest pig.
Oh, yeah.
Very big pig. And he brought his wife. And they sat
Here
right
we go.
here. And I would say, well, Sam, how much is this? This pig must really eat a lot. And Sam would go. I said, Sam, we're on the air. You got to help me here. You got to talk verbally. And then I'd say, Sam, how long have you had this pig?
Shoulder shrug.
That's the pig.
Yeah. So I know what you mean.
No, it's interesting, and and having done that stage for so many years, you become a master. I'm 63 now. What I've become a master of is you guys know, if you watch an act come on stage and you're sitting there waiting, hoping nothing happens, you can just sit down and put your feet up and look at all the free stuff you got. The stuff you'll never use, but you want it. Right. And here comes an entertainer on stage, and you're like, oh, really? And, if a guy or gal comes out and they don't look like they want to be there, then why would you want to be there?
Right.
So what happens is I'll speak for myself, pump myself up every year. And I would always start in January for this fair, because this fair would be at the end of my summer run.
Right.
So I come and do 12 days, all 12 days, with an audience. My audience is a lot like yours. It proves if you play somewhere long enough and they like you once. A Minnesotan is a creature of tradition. Of all the state fairs I've done, no fair has tradition like this. Mm-hmm. It's more of a strange, gated community.
I figured it out.
Fair.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
In a world that increasingly makes no sense.
Makes no sense. This is where the good is.
This makes sense right here. Afghanistan. Did that make sense?
None.
No.
Is the economy making sense?
Nothing.
Is politics making sense?
I love boomer talk.
Yeah.
I've taken
this makes sense.
I have taken my car keys and sort of handed them over and said, I'm going to jump in the back seat with my seatbelt off. You go ahead and drive. I'll go with you, but I really don't care.
Kenny's also done that at many different parties as well.
Well, this is the longest goodbye in state fair history, isn't it?
I do want to say one thing. As a former clown, hired by Fun Characters, I think it was way back when. It was always you always questioned yourself. Maybe you worked the overnights, midnight to 8 a.m. Went home, slept for 2 hours, then had to put your clown makeup in the middle of July, hop in the 82 Olds Omega, drive out to Minnetonka. It had no air conditioning, and it's 95 degrees.
So all that stuff's running.
You can see in the rearview mirror, it's starting to run. And so then you start to sweat because it's running. Cars are pulling up going, hey, you're an effing clown, what's up? And you just kind of sink lower and lower. Then you arrive at the Minnetonka estate, and they open the door for the birthday party, and you can see the disappointment already. They didn't. I thought we paid more for this than,
we ain't getting our money's worth.
The tears of a clown were real at that point.
No, you know what they did when you knocked on the door? They looked at you and they went, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
But I will say this. We were out in Boston a year or two ago. It was on a...
Is this a long story?
No, it's not. But it's going to help. It was an open area. Where were we?
Well, don't ask me.
Okay. All right. Well, but there was a street performer there.
Right.
And he was performing, and he was excellent. And you know what he was doing?
Juggling.
Everything Sean Emery has done.
Really?
And I went up to him after, and I said, I got to tell you, I'm from Minnesota, and there's a guy that does the Minnesota State Fair, and his name is Sean Emery. And he smiled right away. And he said he had trained under you, and he wasn't as good as you. He was a lot younger, but that's a compliment to you.
Better looking.
Well, he was, a little younger too. Across the country, I didn't realize that you've trained so many people to do this stuff and to carry on your career, or you're giving them a career by training them.
Well, I charged them.
Well, that's.
I would hope
he said
so.
The SOB wasn't cheap, but he knew what he was doing.
Get your notepad out, because I'm only going to tell you this first spiel once about being a performer.
Right.
I mean, over the years on that stage, I'd have local young juggling kids come up and go, how do I get the spots you got? Mm-hmm. And I go, well, kid, but that face you just gave me, you got a lot of work to do.
Right.
And you might be a really hot little amateur juggler, but you got no personality. You got nothing else. It's like, you've seen my show up there enough.
Yep.
I mean, the juggling is the tool to get out. The rest of it is kind of frightening Minnesotans.
It really
is.
Right. I'm worried every year here, man.
Yeah.
Every year I worried.
But it's engaging the crowd, because when I first moved here, I went to the Ren Festival and watched all the jugglers, and they were kind of going, well, hello, everybody, and I sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm gonna juggle some wet wipe packs now. Now they're a diameter of about a 1 1/3 inch, and they look to be about 7 inches by about 3.5, and I think it weighs 117 grams. So just sit back and relax. And people would get up and walk out of the show, and they didn't follow them. They didn't say anything. I saw a lot of that, and I was coming from New York City because I street performed there.
Yeah.
After coming as a clown out of the circus, and street performing in New York City. That's a street fight. It's you against them. And in the beginning, I was out there going, hey, guys and gals, stop. I'm going to do a little show in New York. Yeah. So I learned to just sit there, put all my props out, light a cigarette, just flip these 2 cups. And people go, you going to do anything? I go, no, keep walking, Sammy. Nothing happening here.
Just throw something in the tip jar and keep walking.
You do nothing, and you give them a little lip, and then the crowd starts to form.
Oh, yeah.
And you make no eye contact with them at all. You just keep sitting there. And then once you get a number of people in, all right, I'll do you a trick, and you start, and you have to do less. So, but the fair thing was, like, my first street show was horrible because I was coming off from being a circus clown where we had an arena full of people with separation. You know, like your little plastic stand. No, that is plastic. That's not real charge.
Don't charge. Don't storm the castle.
So there was a difference.
That's our barrier for COVID.
Yeah, right there. You go. And you've always had that. And the thing was, after my first show, I went and gave the audience money for watching me. That's how bad it was. Saying, here's 50 cents for you. And you had to learn to do less and work that crowd in. And then you come to a place like Baldwin Park and the Children's Theater where I worked for years and stage managed. And as jugglers, we don't want to be stars. We're point men.
No, you want to be a star.
No, we don't. We want to be like a right guard or an inside defensive line.
Deodorant?
Like, you're going to get the pay, you get the ring if you win the Super Bowl, but you don't have to hang around and do all the interviews. You get to go on home. And what happened here, my thought is that people sat down, they saw my show, dreading it, they sat there through it because they were scared to leave, and they went, that wasn't so horrible. And they would come up and tell me that didn't totally suck. Then they go to the fair and they tell a few people, we saw this old burned out juggler. You should come see it, juggler. Just come up and see it. And they'd see me a second time. And at this fair, if you do something twice, and I know all of you guys have done it, it's kind of on your list for the next time you come to the fair. You're going to go do it again. You're going to go eat that one thing. So I would
Sean, you have to stop talking now.
Do I?
It's just, because what I'm having is a cartoon bubble of you talking to Marjorie Johnson. That would have been just fantastic.
That would have been so cool.
The baking lady.
Yes.
Yeah. We had a lot of talks.
Who got a word in?
Well, we talked about baking, and I did all the talking, actually.
Okay, all right.
And she would go, yeah.
How much do you make? How much do you make? Sean, the fair's going to miss you, and we certainly do.
Well, no, I'm still here. I announced the parade. I'm the parade announcer. I just do less. You know what I wanted? I never wanted to disappoint this crowd and come out, and you've interviewed enough performers to see that some of them should have left and got out of the business a long time ago.
Interviewed a mime once.
Right.
Didn't say a word.
That's the late, great Michael. Michael, the mime.
Oh, he's not with us.
He is no longer with us, but he was a great sport.
They never stopped talking backstage. I just sit around going, Really?
Do you give him this mime? Do you give him this one?
They're so lonely. So, it's just, I have this nightmare about.
They're so lonely.
They are so lonely.
Sean, let's talk about the 70s.
No.
Bell bottoms, smoking indoors, riding with no seat belts, case of beer right between you. Actual knobs and buttons on the dashboard.
Sliders and slammers.
Long hair,
Big fat Bob Marley doobies.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't going to bring that up.
All right.
Double
Sean, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, folks, for coming to the fair.
Always been great to know you.
Same here, man.
Yep.
Virgil Flowers, baby.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thank you. Say, Grunhofer's has come up.
I read all those books.
On the show already. Did you read Mad River? That's
Madriver, I believe.
I thought it was Madriver.
No, it's not Madriver.
Those guys are my favorite.
Say that Scottish Highland, which produces lean beef, Spencer Grunhofer would be able to answer your questions about that. I wouldn't be surprised if he can even get you some if you needed some. They have sides of beef, hogs, and lambs coming in a couple of weeks. They can help you with anything that walks on four legs, so there's your Scottish Highland answer. And they have a side of beef that will save you money and beat the increase in grocery store prices. You know the location. It's right on Highway 61, just north of Hugo. That's the original Spencer Grunhofer location, and they just opened a new store on Highway 97 in Forest Lake.
3/4 of a mile east of I-35.
3/4 of a mile east of I-35 on 97.
On the south side of 97.
And you made a great run there and kept that from us.
Ate it all before I even got out of the truck.
I don't doubt
Gross.
that.
Yeah.
I don't
Too
doubt
much
that.
information.
I don't doubt that. It's Grunhofer's old-fashioned meats for the burgers, the steaks, the meatloaf, the brats. And, of course, now you can even lay in bigger selections and put them in your home freezer, and you'll be beating the prices at the grocery store.
Hey, Joe, really quick. Sean just had another couple of questions for you.
That's fine.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
All right, thank you, GLers. We'll be back shortly with the hype people.
Garage Logic would like to welcome Kahuna Window Cleaning and Seasonal Services to the podcast. Andy and his crew at Kahuna take care of all the stuff around your house that you really hate doing. Window cleaning, gutter cleaning, pressure washing, roof washing. They will even put up and take down and store your holiday lights. They service the entire metro area from North Branch to Norwood, Young America. Kahuna is also a veteran-owned company and honored to be recommended by Trust Vets. Throughout August, they have a great special on window cleaning just for GLers. Stay off the ladder and safely in the garage. Clean windows can really make a difference, especially with all the smoke and fog that we have been getting. Right now, for GLers only, pricing starts at just $117 for up to 25 window panes. This special will only run through the month of August. Head to kahunawindowcleaning.com to schedule a cleaning today, and make sure you ask for the GL special, kahunawindowcleaning.com.
Oh, yeah. You ain't getting this anywhere else.
A little Bob Marley for
Yeah,
us.
a little bit.
No? Stir it up.
Let's not stir it up. Stir it up.
No, it's, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Something ain't right.
No, this is no song anybody ever wrote before, remember?
It's got a raga feel.
Thank you, boys. Always fantastic.
Joe, who's on base?
First,
Who's on base?
Kurt.
Kurt's on base. Remember yesterday, Joe, how I told you I'm a bit scatterbrained during the state fair?
Yes.
And then remember yesterday how off the air I couldn't stop talking about Schoonover Body Works and Glass and what a great job they did to my truck?
Yes.
And yesterday was Positive Thursday. And yesterday I forgot to talk about Schoonover on the air.
Really?
I wrote a review on the internet for the very first time this week. It reads, A+ service, great communication, and flawless work. The detailed job is amazing, and the truck looks as clean as the day it was born. Schoons is the best. Mr. Positive Mike Schooner.
They could clean that crap can?
You wouldn't believe. Joe, there was dried blood in there.
Oh, jeez.
Noah had to clean up my own dried blood. Schoonover
Oh, I
Body
don't want to
Works.
hear that.
Body Works and Glass. They're on County E in Shoreview and Lexington in Shoreview. So I had them on the schedule anyway. They're going to put on a new pair of running boards, a new grill, do an oil change. But then over last weekend, my check engine light came on, and my tranny started acting weird.
Yep.
And I panicked. I knew I was going to be buying a new tranny, $5,000 or more. Turns out it was an oxygen sensor. I got out of there with little or no money spent.
Wonderful.
Schoonover, just unbelievable. Like I said, the real story, it's the detailed job that Noah did.
Noah's the best.
He's got this, he calls it a tornado gun. Mm-hmm. It shoots out a mist, a swirling mist that gets in all the cracks. This thing looks better than brand new. It's
Kenny?
absolutely amazing.
When my Jeep was brought over to Schoonover,
yes.
It was a transformation. I saw what it looked like
Isn't
before.
it unbelievable?
It was unbelievable. It looked like it was right off the show floor.
You know, and I know what Such is thinking right now. Nobody does a better detailed job than me, and I used to think the same thing too. I drove hot rods for a long time. Nobody does it better than Noah.
No, I agree with that.
At Schoonover Body Works.
He's doing it all right.
He's just
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Schoonover, GLers, thank you so much for choosing Schoonover. Their website is schoonoverbodyworks.com.
GLers, our own geologist, Stacy, the GL geologist, is with us. There's Stacy. A little shaker in Texas, and Stacy notes not rare, but not terribly common either. And there appear to be some small fault lines in Texas. And so Mother's swimsuit area has been rumbling 4.2 down in Texas. I note, what are you going to do your news?
I don't know. When do you want me to do my news?
Is the Volk here?
Yeah, Mr. Barrett.
Tommy Barrett?
Volcanus.
Hail the
Rex.
Volk!
Hail the Volk!
Hail the Volk!
Hail
Hail the Volk!
The true king of the Winter Carnival.
I haven't seen those red coats this year.
Oh, they're out.
Are they out there? You wanted to tell us something. You apparently have an announcement or something.
Well, just to let you know that Winter Carnival's coming back strong this year. We're going to have the regular parade. We're going to get King Boris, a new Vulcan crew.
Right.
Everything's happening.
What's this on your collar like that?
Well, officially I'm on duty with this guy out here. We're part of the safety team.
Really?
Safety team for the State Fair? Yes. Yes.
The stumbling safety
Who
team.
made that mistake?
Well, it's a long story, but it's a good one. But no, if anybody trips, falls, right? We're trying to get. I work the East End, but today I'm.
Why do you think he's by this booth, Joe? Right here. He's making sure you escort back to the shuttle.
Officially, I'm doing a safety check. So I got a couple of loose cords here. We're going to clean that up for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
You
just
were
wanted
the Volcanus Rex in 2004.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. Great year. We had the Ice Palace.
Yep.
All-Star hockey game came
Right.
to town.
Right.
Along with people from all over the world.
Right.
Came to St.
Right.
Paul. So.
Always good to see you, Volk.
Well, and you've been a Grand Marshal a number of parades.
Oh, yeah.
Rook, not so much.
No, not so much. That's, yeah.
Have you found my luggage yet?
No, we're still working on that.
Okay.
My friend at the airport is it's still having some trouble getting through customs.
There you go. And the medal, Smithsonian Museum called, so I donated.
Your Hall of Fame medal?
The Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah.
So.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Smithsonian, good luck.
Good
Hail
to
the
see you.
Volk.
Hail the
you.
Volk. Hail the
you.
Volk. Thank you, Tommy.
Our Mr. Safety Man.
See, I noted that Saturday, on the grounds of the state capitol in Minnesota, there's going to be a diversity celebration.
Sure.
And I got to thinking, why wouldn't you just do it here, where the diversity is organic?
Right.
It's everywhere you look.
True.
Why do we have to have a special one, I wonder? It's to acknowledge that we're a diverse city. And there you have it. It's be a big diversity festival. And I just thought, well, isn't that what the state fair is?
It really is. You see all shapes and sizes, races, income levels. There's really it's a melting pot.
There's a term I've never heard before. A melting pot.
Yeah, I was working on that last night. I was trying to find the right phrase.
And I want to remind people that down in front here is a Bentelli e-bike, courtesy of EcoFun Motorsports on Highway 61 in Forest Lake. You can register 3 ways to win this Bentelli e-bike with 5 levels of electric assist. You can register right here while you're at the podcast. You scan your QR code, if you know what that means, on the side next to the bike.
Most people
If
do,
you
Joe.
know what that means, you are ahead of Joe.
That's right. I have no idea what that means.
And this bike is invisible, so if you can't see it, you don't have to get your eyes checked.
And you can register at the GL merchandise booth, or you can register online at garagelogic.com. EcoFun Motorsports is on Highway 61 in downtown Forest Lake. They also have the gas-powered scooters that turn urban errands into adventures, full line of Yamaha equipment, youth recreational equipment, helmets, apparel, and great service, great help. You'll leave there with the right-size bike.
Excellent.
Yep.
I think you're right. How many can you scan QR codes, Joe?
Sure.
Can you?
Yes, only because my kids have showed me how to do
A
that.
show of hands here, GLers. How many people can scan a QR? Oh, my.
Well, pretty much everybody.
It's just me and you, Joe.
I didn't hear what Stacy said.
She's in it, yeah.
Yeah, you do with your camera.
What would I do it for?
Really?
It brings you to a link to the website.
Oh.
And then you fill it in.
Plus,
that's voodoo.
If you go
He's
to
a hell of a pitch man, isn't he, folks?
if you go to Sam's Club,
Come on up and take your shot at winning this bike.
Yeah, look at some. Now everybody's trying it. Amazing.
when I go to Sam's Club to go pick up some things,
Yes.
I pull up my Sam's Club app, I pull up my QR code, and as I walk through Sam's Club, I punch it in there and put it in the cart. And when I leave, I bypass the cashier, walk right out. She blinks my receipt. I'm done.
Also at the merchandise
Joe doesn't care.
counter.
Yeah, right.
I really don't.
Plowing right through the show.
Meanwhile, Joe's looking for the correct change. 35, 40.
Say the red mic is open. If someone does have a Garage Logic question for the mayor,
No, we're not.
it's an open mic.
No, I have plants here.
No, I know, but I'm just saying somebody might have a question about.
Is this your show?
Especially
I don't know
if
what
he's
the hell
doing
he's
it.
doing.
If he's doing an ad, feel free to interrupt.
Right here at the merchandise counter for GL, we're selling those window clings for $5 each. Dennis Kirk is sponsoring. It's either the GL logo or the GL University cling. All net proceeds from the sale of the clings will be donated to the Minnesota Military Appreciation Fund. If we sell out 5,000 clings, GL will make a donation of more than $20,000 to the Minnesota Military Appreciation
In
Fund.
fact, Joe, you can't see it, but on the screen on our Facebook feed, Paul just sent in a note saying, I have an agent purchasing GL clings today. Excited to get them in my car windows.
Wonderful.
And a lot of people are checking in from all over the country again. Boy, do we have great listeners. Pat, help me out. Columbia Falls, Montana, Boca Raton, Florida, Sweden. John's checking in from Sweden right now.
What happened to the gal driving here?
She was here Monday, I thought, right?
No, you only mentioned it to us a day or two ago.
Oh.
Is she here? The girl, the woman who drove here from New York?
Who drove here?
Peoria, Arizona, the Queen City, Bozeman, Montana, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Come on.
Gee whiz.
Wichita, Kansas. A lot of
Bozeman,
GLers
you know
checking
who
in.
that is, don't you?
Yeah.
That's Scott Mature,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Let me put that there, and then let me look at this. We're going to have Princess K on today, aren't we?
Princess K will be here arriving shortly. Yes.
Can I, speaking of listeners, can I share my story from yesterday that I told
Is
you
it a
about?
town ball?
Is it the one about how smashed you got last night because your wife and kids are out of town?
Let's not go